666.
Saudi to host Asian Winter Games in NEOM megacity. Saudi Arabia was chosen to host the 2029 Asian Winter Games at NEOM, which planners say will feature a year-round sports complex. The Saudi bid was, quote, unanimously approved, unquote, the statement said, noting that NEOM will be the first West Asian city to host the event. The Asian Winter Games are slated to take place in TROJENA. How would you pronounce it? I'd say TROJENA.
Yeah.
An area of NEOM, quote, where winter temperatures drop below 0 Celsius and year-round temperatures are generally 10 degrees cooler than the rest of the region, unquote. Set to be completed in 2026, TROJENA will include year-round skiing, a man-made freshwater lake, chalets, and ultra-luxury hotels. The Asian Winter Games include competitions for skiing, snowboarding, ice hockey, and figure skating, 47 events in all, 28 on snow and 10 on ice.
It's really amazing that Saudi Arabia is going to be hosting a Winter Games. I'm sorry, it is funny, but it's cool. This is also getting the predictable and usual skepticism and criticism that we see. France came out and blasted this decision. Richard, you know I'm a big ice hockey player. Getting a skate in NEOM would be pretty badass.
That would be pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean, none of the stuff has been built yet. So that was part of the criticism. And, but yeah, I mean, it's just, this is cool. If they have the mountains and they can make man-made snow, I mean, we know that skiers in the Olympics, I learned this watching the Winter Olympics last time, they prefer man-made snow. It's a little bit more predictable and less susceptible to ice. This is, yeah, I mean, it's really, it's amazing. Like the photos, and we're going to have some of the B-roll going, Richard, as we always do. It's my favorite B-roll to add to the post-production because it's so cool. But yeah, I mean,
TROJENA awesome. With the lake and everything.
TROJENA, yeah. Aspen in the desert. Yeah. But yeah, very cool. I mean, look, the timeline on this. So 7 years, they're going to have all this stuff built up there, and it sort of puts a firm timeline on it instead of saying, well, it's just an open-ended thing. I mean, it's going to happen now.
It lights a fire. It's like, this is like inviting your family for the holidays next year in your new home before you've actually built the house. And
that's a great analogy.
But it's expected to be, TROJENA is expected to be finished in 2026. So ostensibly there's a 3-year cushion. I think they'll need every bit of that because that's the reality of doing anything of this scale. Mm-hmm. Saudi Arabia is going hard at these global sort of marquee showcase events. And if you look at something like the G20 or the Formula One, I mean, they throw all their assets into it, and they make it, they make it a success. I think it's interesting. So for example, the Asian Olympic Committee, 6 of the last Asian Winter Games, 6 of the last 8 Asian Winter Games were held in Japan or China. And apparently there's a little bit of fatigue. They don't want to do another one. And I just think it's interesting where Saudi Arabia sort of is jumping in at these moments of opportunity to do this, what seems completely incongruous. The Asian Winter Games of Saudi Arabia they'll end up making it happen. I'm sure there'll be complaints. There's already complaints about, if you're going to generate all that artificial snow, it takes enormous amounts of energy, so it won't be ecologically sustainable. They'll turn it around and say, okay, we're going to generate it all with renewable energy, which would be quite the win, and yet another sort of feather in their cap if they can pull it off. But anyway, it's as we've come to learn, and as we know from the current Saudi Arabia, it's ambitious as hell, and it shows a lot of moxie. And I put my odds are on them pulling it off.
Yeah, I mean, the criticism shouldn't be leveled against them winning the games. It should be leveled against them just building TROJENA in the first place. But to me, it's different than, and it sounds exactly the same as the criticism to level against Qatar with the World Cup. You're building all these stadiums and then it's just a one-off event. But in fact, this is not just they're building all these things for this event. They're building it to be a winter resort. They believe that that's a viable option and could be profitable for local Saudis who are, dying to go to Switzerland or Colorado, they can, if they want to ski and they like skiing or they like winter, vacations, they can go to Trojena. So I don't think that criticism is the same.
It's a good point. They're building it anyway.
Yeah.
Let's attract this. Let's put in for this, this marquee event and bring attention to it.
Yeah. Should be cool. It is amazing. Winter Asian Games destination, Saudi Arabia.